family travel vlog to Fiji. Me and baby's Amazon storefront must-haves. Potty training my child, full version. And if you didn't catch my drift, today we're talking about the dark world of family vloggers. Keep in mind, I not only ranked these on popularity, I also considered how egregious the child exploitation is, and I kind of just went on like an aura. But at the top of the iceberg, I put the very most mainstream family vloggers. You think of family vlogs, who do you think of? The Lebrand Family. I actually think of like a spooky pack of animatronic golden retrievers. That's what I see every time I see anybody talking about them. Now, if I sat here and listed all the crazy things the Lebrand family have done, this video would be hours long. So I'm just gonna hit some of the all-time classics. First off, apparently they bleach their kids' hair. Second, the kids have their own pages. Third, the kids are constantly doing TikTok dances all the time, like every day. They pulled their oldest daughter out of school to focus more on one, parenting the other children, and two, making freaking TikToks. That's gotta be the craziest thing I've ever heard. For a parent to put the well-being of their child so far in the background is so unbelievable to me. Are you kidding me? Imagine that parent-teacher conference. Your daughter's really excelling academically. I'm excited to see where she goes. Yeah, about that. She recently started trending for her TikTok dances, so we're actually gonna pull her this semester to focus on that. And get this, the Dad Challenger podcast went through this little girl's page and checked the following analytics, and he found out that 70% of her followers were males. Not only males, but males between the ages of 18 to 40 years old. So millions of creepy adult men are following this child under the watch of her parents. And trust me, they fucking know, because anybody in this industry knows that you have to constantly be checking that. You have to be sending it to your manager, your agents, press, all those things. You have to constantly be checking it. So there is no way on this good earth that they haven't checked. Like I said, I could sit here and talk about them for hours. It's horrific, but I'm not going to, because next we have something even better. The Doherty doesn't. All right, real talk. Do you ever wonder how these random companies get access to your phone number, your email, or even your address? It's usually because data brokers are selling our information to the highest bidder. And honestly, it's disturbing. Whether it's the fake firefighter department or the fake luxury vacation giveaway, we've all been there. But that's where Incogni comes in. Incogni contacts these data brokers for you, getting your info removed from the databases so that you can reclaim some semblance of privacy. It's like having a digital cleanup crew right on your side, and they are there to remove all your personal info from all the deep, dark, weird crevices of the internet. Plus, with their dark web monitor, Incogni will let you know when your information is compromised. We live in a time where leaks are like the scariest thing ever. As somebody whose business runs digitally, that is literally my worst fear. So if you're ready to take control of your data again, use the link below and try it out risk-free for 30 days. Protect yourself with Incogni, because your personal business should not be anybody else's. I followed this page, and I know I shouldn't, but I love watching this woman make breakfast for 12 kids. I can't get enough. I can't control myself when I see her making scrambled eggs, a side of grapes, bagels, and cantaloupe for a small army. It gets me going. And then immediately after that, she has to pack lunches. And immediately after that, she has to start preparing a snackerty board. And if you don't know what that is, you are so missing out. It's this family's take on a charcuterie board, except instead of nice meats, cheeses, fruits, and spreads, it's random junk food that you could get at a gas station. Then after doing that, she might do laundry, but then it's time for dinner. I'm like, wow, I couldn't even feed myself this morning. They say a really good way to know if a family content creator has crossed the line is if you took the kids out of the content, would it still perform? And the answer to the Doherty dozen is, for the most part, no. This woman named Alicia, who has 12 children, most of whom are adopted, is doing this lineup video where she goes, asking my kids their favorite dessert. And then it's just the kids being like, donut, pizza, paschetti. I don't know why they go viral, but it is a little uncomfortable because it's showing their name and their age. I just feel like you wouldn't want that out there in the world. A lot of the criticism on Doherty dozen is like, one, how can you have that many kids and pay appropriate attention attention to them. Another one is that there are like entire threads online of times Alicia was caught drinking. Like she's constantly drinking in front of her kids. They're like, she's kind of messy with it. Did you seriously think I was gonna do a family vlogging Iceberg and not mention the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Whitney Leave it? Of course. Now, she doesn't put her kids in the content that much, but for the RSV video alone, she obviously gets third place. Like that, it was the amount of Halloween costumes I've seen. I mean, it really shouldn't be funny because that's like a baby fighting for its life, but the baby is fine. And Whitney Leave it was the biggest meme of all time. Need I say more? Next, I have joining an MLM. Now, I know this isn't like a content creator, but I feel like it's a step on becoming a bottom of the iceberg family content creator. These are the people who are new to it. So maybe they've amassed a community of like 20 to 40,000 followers. They're starting to get noticed by some brands and some people. They're starting to get views on their content. So what do? They mobilize a community. They cash a check. This is so funny to me because, you know, if this is like a young hot mom, she's like doing videos like trying to be like, these are my abs 1 week postpartum. This is why I'm better than you. She's going to be either shilling a protein coupon code, or if she's not that, it's gonna be essential oils. Make a bingo card of Tyler Bender videos and essential oils should be on it every single time. It always comes up. Why is it connected to everything? I'm not even gonna talk about the Ace family, but I am gonna talk about the Ace Family Carnival. These family vloggers went so hard that they made an event. They made an event to shill their children. They exploited their children so hard that they turned it into a literal ticketed event. But I have to say, the cultural impact of the Ace Family Carnival is second to none. Pictures with the Ace family, fold up carnival rides, concessions, but most importantly, the chance to meet the Ace family and get an autograph. If I would have known that only months later, the Ace family would be gone for good, I would have gone. I would have gotten my picture with the Ace fam for the last time. I would have gotten a signed piece of merchandise, or you can just get mine on abender.com. I would have held the Ace family's hand for one final time. If you're a chronically online TikTok girly like me, you have definitely seen Matt and Abby. So Matt and Abby are like a cringeworthy young Christian couple, and recently they decided that they're not going to show their kids anymore, which, let's go, W's in the chat. That's amazing. That's amazing. But I still am including them because I've been wanting to talk about them for a very long time because I find the lore behind this duo fascinating. They're always pulling some bullshit on the FYP, and it's so funny. You can't write this shit. Matt is a bumbling idiot, and she's just kind of like sweet and ditzy, and like we all watch and we're like, girl, leave him. They have a podcast called Unplanned where they like interview people and talk about being parents, and constantly it is bad PR for them because they always get caught up in a conversation where he inadvertently tells her that she's like not attractive to him, that something is wrong with her, that she's manly, that she's like not looking good. But he's also self-exposed himself in TikToks before. My personal favorite is this one where he's like, I booked a horseback riding lesson 24 hours after my wife got her IUD in. Yeehaw! And it's like him galloping, like it's like a selfie mode and you see him galloping on it. He also posted another TikTok where he's like, I wanted to be nice to my wife, so I decided to clean the kitchen. The thing here is that him and his wife do the same job. They're both content creators, so like, why were you not splitting chores evenly to begin with? And then recently, he's been pursuing a music career. So his wife is like 9 months pregnant and he's shirtless doing Troy Bolton trends to the song that he's writing about how much he hates his life. Like one of the trailers for the song, he's like, oh, wow, you have a smoking hot wife, you have kids, you make money. It seems like your life is just perfect. I know, it seems like I should be satisfied and have it all figured out, but it's just not enough. This one is niche. It falls in a niche Tyler Bender interest category. Now, I don't love family content. I've never been like the, oh, I want to have babies girl. I've never been very nurturing, so that never appealed to me. But this woman fascinates me because she is the David Goggins of being a mom. She has the intensity of like a Navy SEAL. She will get on it. She'll do like her daily routine from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. The house spotless. Of course, she has the marble island that I want in my dream. She has the dream kitchen. I want a to Marble Island so bad. Down to the second, everything is perfect. Her sons are going off to soccer. The husband comes home at the precise right time. Dinner is ready. Dinner looks perfect. The floors are spotless. The kids are in bed at an exact time. And it is to a science. But not only does she share the routines, she also has coaching.
This is a full day routine at 16 weeks pregnant when my husband is out of town.
It's 5:30 a.m. and this weekend I'm momming alone.
When you get old, does it get easier to wake up at 5 a.m.? Please comment.
I get my workout clothes on and pack a bag because the night before I mentally decided exactly how our day was gonna go down.
I actually agree with that, but not first thing in the morning. Oh my gosh. I've been working out consistently for like almost 2 years now, and I still need pre-workout to get me going. Girl is a Marine. 5:30 in the morning and she hits right to the treadmill? You're kidding me. What did I tell you? David Goggins of motherhood. I am obsessed. The funny thing though is that she's selling like a plethora of courses and guides. Like she has a $40 guide on how to go to Disney World. I don't find this girl like problematic because like I said, if you took the kids out of the content, it would still be the same content. Next is the kids having their own pages. I hate this. It's like extending the cinematic universe of your family. They're like, okay, now we're taking the Avengers and they're getting their own series, except this series is them being a 9-year-old girl having to do extra labor for you. And that's all I have to say on it. On a similar note is dance moms. You know what's sick and twisted about the dance industry right now? Like the little girls, competitive dance was all the rage growing up for me. Like all my friends did it. It was like a big thing. It's cute, it's fun. But from what I understand nowadays, like you have to have an Instagram presence to compete. Like part of what they judge on is what you're posting on socials, and sometimes they consider your following. So you've got these dance moms, these deranged dance moms, so desperate to get their daughter ahead in the dance world that they're literally creating Instagram pages for them where they're just consistently post their daughter in a leotard. And like, I think they tell themselves that it's other kids following it, but is it? You're posting your daughter in hardly any clothes, which in the context of a dance recital, all right, fine. No, that totally makes sense. Context is so important. But I've gone through the following lists of some of these accounts and it is heinous. Mad Mama. So I saw her and initially I said, oh, so this is like an alt Doherty doesn't. But then I got into her lore and let me read you this. Veronica, the Mad Mama herself, she became pregnant in 1999 at 14 years old. Since then, she has gone on to have 12 children with 2 different fathers. 2 belong to the first husband and 10 belong to the second husband, Marty Davis. She recently overdosed on Tylenol after a wisdom tooth removal because she did not read the label that said extra strength and took too much. Have you guys ever overdosed on Tylenol? Like I honestly didn't know you could do that. I thought it would just like make your tummy hurt. Oh my gosh, how many do you have to take to do that? Like what? During this time, she signed over the rights to one of her children for medical care as he has cancer, but no birth certificate because he was a home birth and therefore no health insurance. Somehow she ended up signing over the rights to all her children because she was sick and needed a babysitter. Literally, that's what she said. She claimed that foster care was like going to camp for them. Like actually what? One of the things she's known for is having so many kids that she color codes them. Like she actually refers to them as colors. If you refer to your kids in code on the internet, that makes sense, but she'll say their first name and then their color. So it's like, what is the point? I guess it's just for like organization. The lore here is incredibly deep. Basically, she does like random art commissions and TikTok for a living, and that's how she's supporting all these kids. So she gets caught into a lot of sticky situations begging for money on TikTok Live. She's also been called out because a lot of people feel like the house that she lives in is not fit for children. Apparently there's like black mold, it's falling apart. And on top of all of this, she's homeschooling the kids when she herself did not even finish high school. Like, why don't we have a requirement for who can and cannot teach high school? But I think that's all I can say about Mad Mama for today. Comment if you need more in the future. Next is the new house vlog. This is quintessential on a family vlogging content creator's journey. This is down deep because it means you've made it enough to afford that nice, bougie, stark white, shiny new home. And you're gonna make a vlog about it? Yes, you are, because you're gonna make money off it and you're gonna write off a certain percentage of that home. I'm gonna vomit because next I have to talk about Amazon wish lists. Yes, not only do these creators grift on TikTok Live, put their cash apps all over the whole world, they also share Amazon wish lists. Like they'll sit there and be like, ooh, my daughter wants this, this, and this, and I want this, this, and this. They share the link and you can purchase stuff for them. I've seen teachers do this and I think it's brilliant. Maybe like a low-income family trying to get Christmas gifts also checks out. But a lot of these are like random things. I even saw one on my friend Mom Uncharted's page. Holy shit. If you are interested in this topic, go check out her channel. It is unbelievable unbelievable what people are getting away with. This woman ran an account for her daughter, and on the Amazon storefront was like all like crop tops and booty shorts for like a little girl. And then at the same time, you could go book like conversations with the girl and video chats. What do you mean a random stranger on the internet bought you like a new training bra? What? Oh, see, this is where this will like isn't a fun video to make, but at the same time, like, how are you gonna cover the topic without saying that? Next is when the kids do an ad, you know shit got real. Because if your kid is established enough on your page, is enough of a reoccurring element to your page that they are going to be asked to do an ad, you know you have gone too far. And you know that money's not getting stashed away for the kid. That money's going out into the nether. They will never see it again. In that vein, you know it's bad when both parents are full-time on the content creation. I think when mom's doing it or dad's doing it and the other parents, you know, has like a steady job, that takes a lot of pressure off of it. It's more of a hobby. It's fun for everybody. But as soon as the whole family goes full-time, it's grind time. Oh, I can't imagine like writing out a low month with like 4 kids depending on me and my husband. Oh, that would suck. I've already touched on this a little bit, but you're not a family vlogger if at some point you haven't begged for money. A great example of this is my girl Hannah Nealman. Even she, married to a millionaire, the heir to JetBlue, recently started a GoFundMe for one of her family members. Like, could you not just cover it? I think the expenses were like $20,000 or something. When you are a millionaire, on top of the inherited wealth that she has access to, she's also running like a really good fucking business. You're telling me that you couldn't just do that out of pocket? Like, what? Then you've got all the ladies with the Cash App in their bio. You've got the beggars on TikTok Live. And I even noticed, here's this account, and this is so fucked up. It's called the Penny Fairy. And this person goes into like e-begging live streams and is like, I'm gonna send you something. And they get all excited. And then it's a penny. And then they curse them out. They're like, fuck you. I needed money for cigarettes. I needed money to go catch the bus. And what's that supposed to get me? Go fuck yourself. Ooh, we're getting really low on the iceberg. It's starting to get really dicey. Exploiting illness. Classic. I guess this is kind of Whitney Leave at core. There are a lot of moms specifically on TikTok that will just stand next to the hospital bed and like vacantly stare at the screen being like, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the roses. Hey, could we get a galaxy? And not to mention the YouTubers clickbaiting illness for a thumbnail. I mean, the amount of times the Lebrands have gotten in trouble for this one, needs to be studied. The amount of times that family vloggers on YouTube are just like, she's really sick and we're worried. So you click on the video and it's like, she had a mild cold and she is back to it. Thanks for watching. What? Like, how do you think the people with actually ill children feel when you do that? All right, Ryan's toy reviews. Now, this king has been in the game as long as the game has existed. He is the Shirley Temple of family vlogging. This kid, as soon as YouTube started peaking in like 2015, his parents sat him down with a new toy to unwrap and a camera and said, go. For the past, I don't know, 10 plus years, this kid named Ryan has been forced to do unboxing toy videos. Like he's still doing kid-friendly content, even though he's like a teenager now. He's still doing like baby kid content. He's like as booked and busy as Mr. Beast is. Like he is scheduled to be here, here, and here. He is the Macaulay Culkin, the Shirley Temple, and he is going to crash out because I worry about this kid. His name, image, likeness has been exploited, used, and abused. He wasn't even old enough to consent to any of it. I have to wonder how he feels about this now. Hopefully he's enjoying the money. Hopefully some of it is going to him, but this is low on the iceberg behavior on the parents. Like, what were you thinking? That's crazy. Next, we have Lifee Families. If you've been following this channel since I was doing shorts, you know I had major beef with the Lifee Families. Like, I'm blocked by almost all of them because I was ripping on that shit for a while. Because what do you mean your 17-year-old daughter is sleeping inches away from your husband and your 14-year-old son? Like, that's not weird to you? What do you mean you have 3 black labs in a 50 square foot van if you're lucky? There's one woman who literally has like a crate of rats. She has like a rat storage container and they live in the van with them. What do you mean? And here's the thing. Within the contiguous United States, you are not seeing anything that is worth taking away education opportunities from your children, taking away a safe home from your children, taking your children away from social opportunities, exploiting them online for money because you can't have a normal job. None of this is worth being able to go into Iowa and see the world's biggest fucking fucking rubber band. What are you gonna see that's so important? You're gonna go through Montana and be like, wow, that's a mountain. And then you're gonna go to Idaho and you're gonna be like, wow, that's another mountain. This is something that should and could have been done in 1 month of summer. And then they do a house tour and they show you the beds. It's a quarter of a twin bed. It is the size of a beach towel, okay? And the size of it is about this big. They call them coffin beds. I will not stand for this. This is bottom of iceberg because you're not only exploiting the kids, but you're making them very uncomfortable. And another classic, this is the woman who adopted a child, vlogged it for 2 years, made so much money off this child, and sent it right back. Unbelievable. There's a documentary on Vox about this where they get into all the nitty gritty, so definitely go watch that. But like, people were saying that she was very deliberate about like, oh, if I adopt, I'll stand out and I'll get more views and I can get a kid faster than if I got pregnant and it'll be so good. You're getting preggies for a YouTube thumbnail? Are you out of your goddamn mind? I won't even get dressed for a YouTube thumbnail. I think all prank channels are scummy. At best, they do a joke or a prank that makes us go, ooh. But at worst, they are Daddy05. This guy is a dad who started YouTube vlogging with his kids, and then he started doing pranks, and then the pranks started escalating, and his behavior toward his sons is so disgusting. He was endangering these children over and over and over again. The pranks were so cruel and unusual. If that's what's going on camera, I literally can't even imagine what was happening off camera. At its peak, they had 750,000 subscribers and over 176 million views. By 2017, people started calling them out and they became the center of a large controversy. And by August of that year, the mom and dad were both arrested for child abuse. They ended up taking a plea for child abandonment and they're serving 5 years of probation. This is the pipeline that you go down. The likes and views just make you get crazier and bigger and more intense and more shocking until finally you're going to jail for being negligent abuse. Oh my God, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. This just drives you to the point of insanity. And finally, we have to talk about the 8 passengers. This is a woman who for years portrayed this image of the perfect Mormon family. The dad was a professor at BYU. She was the epitome Stepford wife, and she shared parenting tips, slice of life content, and fun moments with her kids. Around 2019, Ruby Franke, the mother of the 8 passengers, started exhibiting some questionable behavior. There was one time where she took away her 16-year-old son's bed for like months on end, all because he played like a harmless prank on one of the younger kids. I think it was literally like saying that they were going to Disneyland when they weren't. Like, what? That's a little extreme. Then she eventually sends that same son to one of those scary Paris Hilton wilderness camps. That's horrific. At one point, she said that she would not be doing Christmas because she felt like the kids weren't responding to other punishments. There's a video that always goes viral on TikTok of her talking about how she doesn't want to bring her, like kindergarten daughter lunch because she's sick of her daughter forgetting it, so she needs to learn a lesson painfully. She continues to have shocking moments on the internet where she just does the most outrageous Karen behavior ever. And this all culminates to the dad moving out of the house. Weird. The nonsense continues. The daughter moves out of the house. The son moves out of the house. There's still 6 more kids at home. The madness continues until August 30th, 2023, when Ruby Franke is arrested. The arrests were triggered after her 12-year-old son escaped her basement where he was locked in and got help from a neighbor. Reports say that he was emaciated, malnourished, that there were like marks on his arms from being bound so tightly, and that there were obvious signs of severe child abuse. Once the police find him, they found the sister in the basement. They find out that Ruby Franke is working with another person, Jody Hildebrandt, who's involved in these crimes, and more is coming out about it because the daughter, Sherry Franke, is speaking about it publicly and doing advocacy for child and family vloggers. One thing that I find crazy is through all of this is literally a nightmare horror story for anybody, but the kids have been so impressively resilient. They literally got taken advantage of their whole childhood. Like, Ruby Franke came out publicly and talked about how damaging this was to her. Like, she had her most embarrassing moments publicly broadcasted, and they would get bribed to do it. It was like, okay, well, my mom's not gonna give me money to buy shoes, but I need shoes to go back to school this fall, so I guess I'm gonna let her film me getting my eyebrow shaved off and crying about it. Like, that is insane. The fact that she has turned this around and used it as a platform to help others is so impressive. And that the older brother Chad has also taken this on the chin. Like, he's literally doing Twitch streams, making jokes about it. Like, that is so impressive. Kudos to them and anyone affected by family vlogging, because it is such a dirty, weird industry. And I would never do that to my child. What should we name them? Let me know in the comments. But that that concludes the family vlogging iceberg. It got a little dark. I didn't want it to, but I feel like you kind of have to when you cover this subject. So let me know what iceberg you want to see next. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can be the first to know about new content. Bye!